Hello everyone and good evening to some more Sporting Memories quiz. So tonight's the more interesting part, isn't it, where I give you the answers. And if you remember back to last night, the quiz is the 1990s. So I'll do my usual, I'll read the question out, I'll give you the answer, and if there's a bit of background we can talk about there as well. We'll do that. So if you're ready to go, I'll start with number one. So number one was basically Britain had two Formula One world champions in the 90s. Can you name both of them? So I'm sure you've written down, if you want them in date order, you've probably put down Nigel Mansell, 1992, and Damon Hill, 1996. Excellent. Both with the Williams team. When Mansell won his in 92, he began that season with 5 straight wins, which obviously was a marvellous start for him. Damon Hill, he won his in 1996 ahead of his teammate. Do you remember his teammate? It was Jacques Villeneuve, the Canadian. Do you remember him? And Nigel Mansell in 1992 did go on to win the coveted Sports Personality of the Year award as well. So he did pretty well, didn't he? So there are your two answers. Nigel Mansell, 1992. Damon Hill, 1996. So those were the two names we were looking for. Number two was, after his retirement, the basketball legend Michael Jordan starred alongside Bugs Bunny in what hit 1996 film? And I'm sure you got it. Space Jam. Space Jam. Jam as in spread it on bread. Space Jam. Now, I haven't actually watched the film myself. I've only seen a few clips on YouTube. I don't think it's really my cup of tea, that one. But I'm sure it's a great hit. But that's what he did. He starred in the cartoon drama, obviously involving basketball. I can't remember the plot with the film. I did read it. But number two, Space Jam. Maybe one to put on your to-watch list. Possibly. Number three, moving back to snooker. Why was Ronnie O'Sullivan disqualified from the 1998 Irish Masters tournament? Well, a lot of people might have thought, well, he probably fell out with someone, head-butted a referee, punched somebody. No, it wasn't any of those things that happened. He failed a drugs test. Yeah, who'd have thought that for snooker? He failed a drugs test and tested positive for the use of cannabis. Now, in the final, he'd already beaten Ken Doherty 9 frames to 3, winning the title. So he was then stripped of the title, disqualified, and the victory was given to Ken Doherty. So not a great moment in Ronnie's snooker career, but a lot of his wins since then, that's really forgotten, isn't it? Not that we're condoning that at all. So it was a failed drugs test. That's why he was disqualified and lost his title. Number 4. At which football ground did Eric Cantona attack a fan with that kung fu kick, which I'm sure you've all seen on Facebook or YouTube or something like that? Well, it was, of course, when they were playing Crystal Palace, though it was at Selhurst Park. If you're really good, you'll know it was in 1995. I think it was January, wasn't it? 95. Now, the reason for it is Cantona had been sent off. He'd been given the red card for kicking, I think it was Richard Shaw, Crystal Palace. And as he went out to the dugout and through the tunnel, he'd obviously get a lot of abuse. And he cracked, and something he heard in the crowd, he just launched a kick, didn't he, against one of the fans. So the match finished 1-1 each. David May scoring for Man United and Gareth Southgate scoring for Crystal Palace. So 1-1. So not the greatest achievement of Eric Cantona. He got a ban, didn't he? And but his heroics at Manchester United, I'm sure if you're a Man United fan, all was forgotten with the amount of silverware and titles that he brought. Number 5, cycling now. In 1996, the Spanish cyclist Miguel Indurain was aiming for a 6th straight Tour victory, wasn't he, in the Tour de France? But which rider took the title instead, gaining his first Tour victory? Well, you may remember watching this one in 96. The winner was, of course, the Danish rider, Bjarne Riis. Do you remember him, Bjarne? It was one of those amazing moments. Miguel Indurain seemed to be like a real machine, didn't he? Particularly in the mountains, he could just drop everyone. And yet this year, I can't remember if it was in the Pyrenees or the Alps, but he cracked numerous times. And Riis, I think he was riding for the Telecom team then. And I think his number 2 was Jan Ullrich. But Riis took the victory that year. It was his only victory, wasn't it, in 1996? But of course, Indurain goes into the Hall of Fame of 5 times Tour winners. A phenomenal rider. But yeah, Bjarne Riis is your answer for number 5. So well done if you got that one. Number 6, we're looking at cricket this time. So which England batsman was the world's leading test run scorer in the 1990s? So maybe you've been scratching your head about that one a little bit. Well, it was the wicket-keeper batsman, also known as Alec Stewart, OBE. And he had 6,407 runs, which is like quite astonishing, really, isn't it? A former England captain, the 4th most capped English cricketer as well. So pretty impressive numbers. So number 6, Alex Stewart, OBE, was the answer. Well done if you got that one. Number 7, looking a bit more at cycling now. Who was the British cyclist winning gold in the 4-kilometre individual pursuit at the 1992 Olympic Games? I'm sure a lot of you got this one. And it was Chris Boardman. Chris Boardman went on to win, well, all kinds of stuff, didn't he? He was kind of like a bit of a pioneer, wasn't he? Because until 1992, at those Olympics, Britain hadn't really done anything as such on the track. We'd had brief moments, but Chris on his Lotus bike, he took the gold, didn't he, in the individual pursuit. And then 16 years later, in the 2008 Games, Britain's winning 8 golds at Beijing. So they've come a long way. He set all kinds of records. He had the World Time Trial Championship in 1994. He held the hour record in 2000, won various things in track cycling, and of course a 3-stage winner in the Tour de France, of which I'm sure most of those were prologues or time trials, but I'm not sure. So, prolific rider, and now commentates on all kinds of things on ITV4's Tour de France, amongst other things. And his own bike as well, the Chris Boardman bikes. So, if you got number 7 as Chris Boardman, you got it right, well done. Number 8. Which triple jumper set a new world record, still stands today, at the 1995 World Athletics Championships in Gothenburg in Sweden? And I'm sure the main name that comes to most people's minds is Jonathan Edwards, of course. So the astonishing leap he did, I'll give you in feet, 60 feet. Wow. Which is also 18 metres, 29 centimetres. So no wonder that record still stands. That's phenomenal. So he was an Olympic gold medalist in 2000 in the Sydney Games. He took silver at the 96 Games. He took gold at the Commonwealth Games in 2002. And various others at the Worlds, gold at 95 as we've mentioned, and gold at the Worlds in 2001. So an amazing record, which will probably stand for a long time yet, won't it? Maybe it was like the Bob Beamon jump of triple jump. So that's number 8, Jonathan Edwards. Number 9, moving to rugby, under whose captaincy did the England Rugby Union side win back-to-back 5 Nations Championships in 91 and 92? I'm sure you got it straight away, and the answer is Will Carling. Will Carling, who was playing from 1988 in the rugby team to 1997. 72 appearances, 72 caps, which is a lot. 59 of them as captain. So pretty prolific. So number 9, Will Carling. Well done if you got that one. So moving on to number 10. What have we got here? Golf this time. In 1997, which 21-year-old golfer won his first major tournament at the Masters with a 12-stroke lead over his rivals, which is phenomenal? Well, that 21-year-old winner at the Masters was, of course, the one and only Tiger Woods. And he did go on to win the Masters numerous times, didn't he? 97, as we mentioned, 2001, 2002, 2005, and more recently, 2019. So he's got now 5 green jackets, which obviously the winner gets for winning the Masters, all hanging up at Augusta Golf Course. So yeah, number 10, Tiger Woods. Well done if you got that. Number 11. Which female British athlete took gold in the 400 metres hurdles at the 1992 Olympic Games? Any names sprang to mind? Well, this one was Sally Gunnell. Do you remember her? Sally Gunnell? Yeah, now, she was the only female British athlete to win the Olympic, the Worlds, the European and the Commonwealth titles. Wow. And she was the first female 400 metre hurdler in history to win the Olympics, World and break the world record. So pretty successful, I would have said. So Sally Gunnell for number 11. If you've never seen her before, click on her on YouTube, watch some of her finals. Yeah, amazing. So that's number 11. Number 12, bit of an easy one here for you. Which Premier League club took the 1999 treble, winning FA Cup, Premier League and the European Cup? And I'm sure you've got it down as Manchester United. So that year winning the FA Cup, beating Newcastle 2-0 with goals from Sheringham and Scholes. What else can we say about it? The European Cup, of course, probably the most famous ever, beating Bayern Munich in the last moments of the game. The most successful season in their history. The previous season, of course, they didn't win any titles, did they? And they were the first side in English football to achieve such a feat as this treble. So, well done. If you got 99, I'm sure if you're a Man United fan, you didn't need any assistance with that one. So, number 12, Manchester United. Number 13, moving back to some cricket. Which Warwickshire batsman hit a record-breaking first-class tally of 501 not out versus Durham in 1994? And I'm sure you got it. The answer was Brian Lara, the West Indies batsman, who he set all kinds of records, didn't he? But this one is just astonishing. 501 not out. If you've not seen any of it, like I say, have a look on YouTube. It shows you, I didn't find the whole innings, but I saw the end part of it. So amazing stuff. Brian Lara, loads of records that he set in his time, many of which still stand, of course. So, penultimate question, number 14. We asked you, at the 1996 Olympic Games, Britain brought home 1 gold medal. Oh dear. But in what sport was this solitary gold medal? Well, if you know your Olympics, you'll have remembered that this must have been in rowing. And it was won by Steve Redgrave and Matthew Pinsent. And of course, Redgrave went on to win his 5 consecutive golds, didn't he? 84 Los Angeles, 88 in Seoul, 92 in Barcelona, and then 96 here in Atlanta, wasn't it? Yeah, 96 in Atlanta, and then rounded it off in 2000 in Sydney. So amazing. And Matthew Pinsent is himself winning numerous golds at different Olympic Games as well. So that was in the men's coxless pairs. And I think it kept, as far as I remember, it kept Britain's record going of winning at least one gold medal at every Olympics. So maybe that's one to research. I'm not an expert in this field, but I think if you look back in time, Britain has won at least one gold at every Summer Olympics. So that's number 14. It was in the sport of rowing, the men's coxless pairs with Matthew Pinson and Steve Redgrave. And finally, a nice one to finish on. In what season was the Uefa Champions League established? Now, this was in the season of 1992-93. The first winner of that cup was Marseille, and they defeated Milan. Not to be confused, of course, with the European Cup competition. The European Cup competition, the old competition, was started way back in 1955. I think it was a Real Madrid win. But the newer UEFA Champions League made it a different setup. The league was a different way because originally you had to win your league to go through to the European Cup competition. So it was only the actual winners of the league, whereas now it's different, isn't it? It's the top. I can't remember how. It's the top 2 or 3, and you go into like a league system before we then start on the quarters, semis, final. So the answer to number 15, the UEFA Champions League, was established back in 1992-93 season, and Marseille were the first winners. So I hope you've enjoyed that little tour around the 1990s. If I've said anything that you don't agree with or you think, oh, he's got that wrong, then let me know. But I hope it's brought back some memories. If there's any of these answers that has intrigued you, have a look on YouTube, because most of these you can find clips or more about them on Google or somewhere. So enjoy. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye bye for now.